We're here because free speech is under attack. We're here because people are being convinced that socialism works. We're here because people are being judged guilty until proven innocent. We are fighting back with facts. This is not a safe zone, so buckle up, Buttercup. This is the raw, naked truth.
"9/11, the Constitution, and more. Welcome to the Raw Naked Truth. I'm your host, Eric Lopkin, and here's the news you need to know. Americans gathered today at memorials, fire stations, and other sites to mark the 22nd anniversary of the September 11th, 2001 terrorist attacks, which killed nearly 3,000 people and sparked a global war against Islamist terrorists. Events were held at New York's World Trade Center, the Pentagon, and Sharksville, Pennsylvania, where terrorists crashed hijacked planes. President Biden is attending a ceremony in Anchorage, Alaska, at a military base. On September 11th, 2001, we were one country, one nation, one people, just like it should be. Eddie Ferguson, fire rescue chief in Virginia's Goochland County, told the Associated Press. That was the feeling, that everyone came together and did what we could, where we were at, to try to help. This marks the first time that the President of the United States does not appear at one of the memorials. One 9/11 family member commented, "That's probably a good thing. We'll be spared one of his made-up stories." North Korean leader Kim Jong-un has left on a rare trip to Russia for a summit with Russian President Vladimir Putin, BBC News reported on Monday, citing South Korean media. Kim is traveling on an armored train to Vladivostok for a meeting expected to occur as early as Tuesday. He's meeting Putin to discuss supplying North Korean weapons to help Russia in its invasion of Ukraine, according to U.S. officials. Kim took his last trip, also to Vladivostok, in eastern Russia, for a summit with Putin after Pyongyang's nuclear disarmament talks with then-President Donald Trump collapsed. This week's meeting comes after the White House received new information that arms negotiations between Russia and North Korea were actively advancing. A federal appeals court said Friday that the White House, FBI, and other government officials likely violated the First Amendment by pressuring social media companies to moderate content posts about COVID-19. The U.S. Court of Appeals for the Fifth Circuit in New Orleans ruled that the Biden administration asked these companies to moderate false posts about COVID by way of intimidating messages and threats of adverse consequences, and significantly encouraged the platform's decision by commandeering their decision-making processes. However, the court also slimmed down the scope of the prior order that had barred the administration from contacting social media companies about content moderation, dampening what appeared to be a large conservative victory. The court case continues. New Mexico Governor Lujan Grisham issued an order Friday temporarily suspending open and concealed carry gun laws across the city of Albuquerque. The unconstitutional order, which also applies to the city's surrounding county in its entirety, will be in effect for at least 30 days, Grisham said, and is part of an effort by the governor to call for changes to the state's gun laws. Grisham said that she wanted to create a cooling-off period while we figure out how we can better address public safety and gun violence. The order came days after 11-year-old Froilan Villegas was shot and killed during a road rage incident while leaving a baseball game in Albuquerque. U.S. consumers whose continued spending has helped prevent a recession might cut back in early 2024, resulting in the first drop in personal consumption since the start of the coronavirus pandemic, Bloomberg reported on Sunday, citing its latest Markets Live Pulse survey. More than half of the survey's 526 respondents said the reversal would hit in the first quarter of next year, while 21% said it would hit in the fourth quarter of this year. The cuts in personal consumption, the biggest driver of economic growth, come as higher borrowing costs and dwindling COVID-era savings force American families to tighten their budgets, Bloomberg reported. The cut in consumer spending is likely to push the economy into recession. That's the Raw Naked Truth. You can catch every episode of The Raw Naked Truth at xvadio.com/podcasts, the Apple Podcasts app, Google Podcasts, Spotify, iHeartRadio, Audible, Amazon Music, and other platforms that respect freedom of speech. We'll see you next time.